Morning, everyone. Hey, it's Mr. D again, coming at you from the comfy corner. Say, if you remember, just before school got out, I started reading the book Grenade to you guys. And didn't get too far. We actually got to page 5 in the book. But there were a number of you that were kind of disappointed that we'd just gotten started with it and probably wouldn't have the opportunity to finish it. So I thought that I would take 10 minutes or so each day starting today to read the book to you guys. If you remember the book, it looked like this right here. Here's the cover of it. Grenade. And I believe, Aiden, you have 2 of the sequels to it, right? So anyways, Grenade is about the Battle of Okinawa in World War II between the U.S. Marines and the Japanese forces on Okinawa. It's from the perspective of Hideki, who is a young Okinawan boy who's being forced to fight for the Japanese army, and Ray, who's a United States Marine that is fighting, of course, on the side of the U.S. trying to throw the Japanese off the island. So in honor of reading the book today, I have my United States Marine Corps Eagle, Globe, and Anchor shirt on. Okay. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to read for a little bit today. All right, here we go. If you remember, we had gotten as far as a Japanese officer talking to Hideki and his classmates about the U.S. Marines come in and what they were going to do to the Okinawans on the islands. So I'm on page 5 right now, and I'll read some of this as review. You might remember, but it says, as Lieutenant Colonel Sano's talking, "Later this morning, the enemy will land on Okinawa," Lieutenant Colonel Sano announced in his imposing voice as the bombs continued to fall. "American devils whose only purpose is to kill you and your families in the most brutal and merciless ways possible." Hideki shuddered, hoping that Sano and Yoshio wouldn't notice. "They'll hunt your grandparents down and they'll burn them alive," Sano continued. "They will torture your mothers, butcher your brothers and your sisters. They will try to trick you too. Offer you food and kindness, but the food they carry is poisoned, and the hand that beckons you with friendship hides the one behind their back, holding a grenade." Kraboom! Another bomb exploded nearby, destroying a tree that stood for generations. But no one was going anywhere now. Sano had their attention. Hideki knew that America and Japan had been at war for almost 4 years, fighting each other all over the Pacific in places like the Solomon Islands, the Philippines, and Iwo Jima. Then a year ago, the Imperial Japanese Army had arrived in force on Okinawa to dig defenses for the inevitable American invasion. Okinawa is a tiny island, just 110 kilometers long. That's about 65 miles long, and 11 kilometers wide, about 10 miles wide. It lay south of the Japanese mainland and had once been an independent kingdom with its own language and religion. But Japan had annexed Okinawa and made it a province back when Hideki's grandparents were children. And now, because Okinawa belonged to Japan, the American army was coming to attack. "From this moment," Sano went on, his voice was heavy with importance, "you have graduated from students to soldiers. You are now the Blood and Iron Student Corps. Each of you must be ready to die a glorious death in the name of the Emperor. This is your island. It is you who should be fighting for it, not the Imperial Japanese Army. You must fight like demons to protect your homeland. One plane for one battleship, one man for 10 of the enemy." Another bomb exploded nearby, and Hideki cowered. He agreed with Sano, but if this ceremony went on too much longer, he would never get to trade his life for 10 American soldiers. An American battleship would kill him and all the rest of the students with just one shot. Fearless as he was, Sano seemed to come to the same conclusion. He nodded, and one of his lieutenants went down the row to put 2 grenades into the hands of each middle schooler. Hideki glanced at Takeshi and Katsumasa. In disbelief, the IGA was giving them real grenades. IGA is Imperial Japanese Army. Hideki accepted his 2 grenades. Each was cylindrical, like a drinking cup, and weighed about a pound. They were bigger than Hideki's hands and looked like pineapple-shaped lanterns painted shiny black. "What's this?" Yoshio asked, and Hideki turned to look. Yoshio had been given 2 grenades that were very different from Hideki's. Yoshio's grenades were made out of pottery. "The American naval blockade has made metal scarce," the lieutenant explained. "Some of you will be given ceramic grenades." "Ceramic?" Yoshio said when the lieutenant moved down the line. "But if these crack, they're useless." He glanced up, saw Hideki had given him 2 metal grenades, and quickly took them without asking, pushing the pottery grenades into Hideki's hand with a wolfish grin. Hideki wanted to complain, but he knew it was pointless, and it would only make things worse with Yoshio. Hideki examined the glazed brown pottery grenades he'd been stuck with. They were the size and shape of baseballs and much lighter than the real metal grenades. Inside the small rubber cap at the top was the matching fuse and a little piece of rough wood. You activated the grenade by striking the fuse against the wood. But Hideki had no idea how fast the fuse burned and how long he would have before the grenade exploded. The complicated trigger distressed him, and the soft clink of the delicate pottery grenades against each other made him worried that they would crack, or worse, explode in his pockets. But if these grenades work, Hideki thought, I can finally overcome my family curse. I can prove to Lieutenant Colonel Sano and to Yoshio and to everyone that I really am brave. And I can make the Kaneshiro family fearless again. Our grenade is for the American monsters, excuse me. One grenade is for the American monsters coming to kill your family, Sano told them, and Hideki looked up. Sano's gaze swept down the row of boys until it stopped at Hideki, like he was talking to him alone. Then, after you have killed as many Americans as you can, Sano added, you are to use the other grenade to kill yourself. All right, we'll stop it there for today. I hope you enjoyed it. That is the end of chapter 1. So, more tomorrow. Stay tuned. Hope everyone's having a great day. Bye.